Let me tell you guys what I do. My name's Eva. You see my t-shirt, it says Freedom4Ewa Pottery and Sculpture, Live and Love. You guys want to read the back? Somebody out loud?
This love warrior is bringing domestic violence to extinction.
Yes. Does anybody know what domestic violence is? What is it?
Like family violence.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
A form of violence between either a spouse, like spouse to spouse, or spouse to children and children to father.
Yep. That usually takes place inside the house.
Yeah.
Right? Does anybody else have another way of explaining it? No? Can anybody, if you feel comfortable, raise your hand if you know anybody or yourselves have been exposed to domestic violence. If you feel comfortable, you don't have to. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So I actually was into abusive relationships. I'm gonna be 29 years old, so my first relationship like that was when I was 20 years old. Probably lasted for about a year. And I actually grew up in a household where my father was abusive towards my mother and me, my sister, and my brother. And in 2008, I met another guy, and I was with him for 3.5 years, and he was abusive the entire time. So you guys might want to say, because a lot of people say, well, if someone hits you, why do you stick, right? People usually say that. With abuse like that, usually the person messes up your head, right? Your mind. They tell you that you're worthless, you're no good, they call you names, then you start believing it, correct? A lot of us deal with self-esteem issues. I know I did, I still do. So in the beginning, these people are nice to you, they tell you everything you want to hear, and then they end up using your kindness for weakness, is the way I want to put it. So, I never had high self-esteem. I was overweight, didn't really like the way I looked, didn't really have a good childhood because my father was an alcoholic, abusive. It wasn't a good childhood. So the only thing I had to escape was my art, right? That was my outlet. Like some of you probably write, make music, listen to music. That's a huge lifesaver, I think. So I was introduced to pottery in high school, so I was back in 2000, 2001, something like that. So I made pottery until I graduated, a little after I graduated, so 2004. Because I loved it and I was really good at it. A lot of people told me I was good at it. It felt good doing it. And when I met the first guy that I was with, I stopped doing all my artwork. Because if you don't feel good about yourself, you don't feel like doing anything. Right? I think that goes for everybody. So I actually, nobody knew what was going on because I didn't tell anybody. I covered up my bruises. I spent one whole summer wearing jeans and long sleeves, an entire summer, because you guys can imagine how hot it is outside right now. So, but nobody noticed because usually people during the day say, "Hey, how's it going?" and then just let the person answer and walk away. Right? We don't really pay attention. If someone's having a bad day or something's off, we just keep doing what we're doing. People would say hi to me and ask me, "How's it going?" Good, good. All those years later, people just say, "Wow, how did I not know?" Right? So you guys are between, what, the ages of 10 and 17 in here? Yeah? This was a rough time in your life, meaning good and bad, because you're thinking about what you want to do with your lives, right? There's no pressure, just do what feels right. Do not force yourself to do anything you don't want to do. That's not fun. So I stopped making pottery for the longest time. I didn't make any artwork for about 10 years because I was in all these relationships and my mind was not right. When I left, the last person, that was in April 2012, I started making pottery probably like a month later, because I had to do something positive to be able to heal from that. Because I could have either worked on something that made me happy, or turned to what? Alcohol, drugs, another bad relationship, which isn't going to fix anything. So I want to backtrack a little bit. The first relationship that I was in, when I left, my sister found out what was going on, because one night I left his house and drove home, and I thought the house was empty, but my sister was actually in there with her husband, and I was crying, so they were asking me what was going on, and I just pulled up my sleeves and showed them my bruises. And my sister freaked out and told my parents. I was 21 at this point, so they pretty much didn't let me go see him again. That's how that ended. So I was forced out of the relationship. But your mind is so screwed up that you want to go back because you think this person loves you, but that's not love. So during that time period when I left him, I didn't really have a good support system, didn't really have any friends, didn't have anybody to talk to. So I ended up finding another person that was the same, if not was worse. I was always super nice, even all the bad stuff that happened to me, I'm always nice to everybody. So I met that last person that I was with. He was super nice in the beginning, and then probably like a month into the relationship is when he started being mean to me, just calling me names, controlling my bank account, phone, whatever you guys can think of. Like you're literally in prison. And the thing is, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually, right? Just think about like when you guys started writing or making music or playing any type of sport, right? With practice, you get better. So every day with practice, they break you down even more. Okay? So I don't want you guys to think someone comes up to you, smacks you, and that's how it works, because most of the time it doesn't. And there are many different types of abuse. Can you guys give me some types of abuse? Go ahead.
Emotional.
Yes.
Verbal.
Yes. Go ahead.
Physical.
Yes. Go ahead.
Self-inflicted.
Yep.